This photo was, I think it was the second time we were at the track. And this was after we had just done the bleh, I'm pretty sure. Because we had two tracks. That's right. We had a really big stadium and then we had a smaller one, if I remember correctly. Um, and this was like one of the first times that all the cast were together, I think. Like actually all of the cast. And we were able to just hang out. Some weird things were said, and we were able to ride the van back to the Sofitel together. Oh, okay. This was for a read. So I mentioned briefly that I was sick, and and then I got an email saying like you are not allowed to attend the read. You cannot make anyone else sick. And I was like, oh God, okay. And so they zoomed me in, and I didn't realize they zoomed me in front of like the entire like panel of people reading. And so when Anthony was looking, that's the laptop of me zooming into the read, which I can't remember exactly which episode this was. It might have been five and six, I think. But yeah, I was sad. I was sad. I missed everyone. I wish I was there, but alas, I could not spread my germs to everyone. Oh yes, this was K-pop time. And then yeah, I think that was one of the only selfies that we took with Michael, which is a shame. I think we tried to squeeze in as many people as possible. And we were on night shoots for this one, so everyone must have been exceptionally tired. We would like start at like 5 p.m. and then finish at like 7 a.m. So it was pretty brutal, but we got to have a lot of late night laughs, which was nice. Oh gosh, yes. So Regan mentioned that there was this like really cool like pedal cart thing that was like out in the mountains, like kind of near Seoul. And so we ended up taking the train out for an hour and we rode on these pedal carts. And this was a photo we took before we got on the pedal carts. Um, I don't know why we did this. We do weird things and we take photos doing weird things. But that was the location. I don't know. I actually don't know why we did this, but it looks cool. We look badass.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Let's say that. Oh, what was this? This must have been one of the. I think this was one of the final scenes. This was when. Yes, this was when they had the scene between Mr. Moon, uh, Kitty, Sangheon, and the brother. I think it was something to do with the scheming. I can't remember. But at that point, I had just finished my last scene with Yuri. So I was wrapped. I think I was actually done after that one. But yes, I think from the lighting, it must have been daytime. So this would have been just finishing off after that last. I think this was the second last day. This was definitely one of the first times that we'd hung out together as like a bigger group. We, oh yes, because Anthony was this the. I think this was the day. I can't. So Anthony makes really good pasta. So usually in the first season we had a big gathering, which was not allowed, but we did anyway. And we were able to. Anthony cooked us all pasta. And we kind of just sat around and like had like a little prosciutto, like, and what is it? What the board? The charcuterie board. Um, and yeah, we just were able to hang out. And I think this was like a similar thing. We were just able to kind of chill. We were eating pasta. I think people were like dropped in and out. But yeah, this was one of the first times that we were all together. Um, and being able to kind of just chat and get to know each other a little bit more. I think I was sleep. Oh, I remember this. So I think yeah, this must have been near the end of the shoot. Yeah, I was definitely trying to sleep, and I think Sanghon didn't turn off the flash on his phone, and so I smiled as he took it. Yeah, Sanghon is a cheeky one. To be fair, I have gotten the better of him with the sleeping photos. I think I'm one up on those ones. I do have a lot, which will be released in due time. I know it's kind of like invasive, isn't it? Someone's sleeping, take a photo of them. Like Minyoung sleeps all the time. He like just any point he's just asleep. He's a tired boy. What can I say? He works hard. Actually, Minyoung, on a side note, Minyoung was working two productions at the same time with EXO Kitty. Yeah, I don't know if I can mention the other one, but he was working two productions while he was doing EXO Kitty. So man was tired. Man was tired. Yeah, so he deserved all the sleep he could get. Yeah, that was our rap party. We had it like on the roof on a rooftop, and we had karaoke. We were able to actually the crew and the cast became really good friends on this one, and which is so nice because it's so rare. It's so rare you get crew and cast to hang out with each other, and so that was really yeah, that was so much fun. Yeah, this is Anna's birthday. We gave Anna a surprise party thing. And so we were able to we bought her a gift and we were all able to gather round and have a nice time. Yeah, just the whole cast basically. Um, so from the first season, like Anna and I have been like really good friends, and I'm also really good friends with her sister Sarah. And so we kind of after the first season, um, Anna and I actually went on a trip together to Guam. She might have mentioned this once or twice in some interviews, but we haven't really talked about it. We went to Guam because we wanted to renew our Korean visa. So the closest place to go to that wasn't Japan was Guam, and we both had US visas. So we were like, all right, let's go here. So Anna and I ended up going to Guam for 2 days together, and we were just like, oh, this is like really random and fun. And so at the end of the second season, we were like, oh, like let's quickly do like an impromptu trip like we did last time. Like let's just go somewhere. And the obvious place was Japan. So on basically the day after the wrap party, we quickly packed up all of our stuff and headed off to Japan. And so I ended up going with Anna and Sarah. We only went for 4 days, but we had a very, very fun time. We were just it was just basically a lot of eating, and walking around. You were able to try some good food and do some good shopping, and yeah, so it's like a very like big brother little sister kind of bond I think at this point, and I've gotten really close with the Cathcarts over the last 2 years. Every time I go to Vancouver, I like stay with them, and I think it's really nice to have kind of a connection on the other side of the world. So I think that yeah, that was kind of straight after Exo Kitty, and hopefully we get to go on more trips this year. Yep, we were singing Castle on the Hill. I remember this. I remember that one very clearly. Yeah, Sanghon doesn't usually like karaoke, but I know what songs he likes. So every time we do karaoke and Sanghon's there, I always try and put on a couple that he actually will sing with me. Um, and so that was a really nice one. This was like a whole cast and crew karaoke session. So we had like 40 people in this karaoke room. Almost every second weekend we would go out and we'd karaoke with the cast and crew. So it definitely became kind of an ongoing thing as we went through the shoot.
Do you remember everyone's go-to songs?
Oh no, I don't know. Don't ask me that question. We did karaoke so much. I just know that there was a lot of Justin Bieber and Nicki Minaj. That's all I know. That's all I know. Yeah, Songhon loves barbecue. And so we went to this special Korean barbecue place. We basically, it was big, but we covered like 5 tables. Um, Anna was able to become a butcher, which I think I captured on video. And, and we just kind of went out to dinner and celebrated Songhon's birthday. And he just was like, he loves eating. So if you follow him on Instagram, 95% of what he posts is food.
He
So
was
I
in
think it was,
Paris last
yeah,
week, and he said like a lot of things about food. Like I think he did like a post just about the food.
he's a big foodie. He's a foodie. And so he took us, yeah, and which would, to be fair, was one of the best barbecue places I've ever been to. It was delicious. But this was just again one of like the 100 hangouts that I think most, like all of the cast kind of went to. It was so we just every other week it would just in the group chat, oh, let's like go do something, like let's hang out. And usually if like one group was hanging out, everyone would just kind of come along. And I think that's the everyone's just so nice. It's just so nice. Everyone's so different as well, which I think is special, and we get along really well together. Yeah, it's special. You don't get it often. Like it's hard to get a cast that you can feel comfortable talking with and going out to drinks with and stuff. Because I know as you get older, it's definitely more difficult to find those connections with those people. And so to have this family is really what it is. To be able to hang out with while in Korea. It really feels like when you go, it doesn't feel like you're working. It just feels like you're hanging out with friends and making something special. This was like our first night kind of like going like out for a drink. I think because we don't because a lot of people in the cast don't drink because we're working, so it's like kind of it's pretty counterintuitive to go out. But we thought we have to do it one night because we know that Korea's nightlife is really fun. So we wanted to just experience that at least once as a group. So I think this evening was like everyone's like, all right, let's get dressed up and we're gonna go and dance. And we ended up going out and dancing. And I think this was also the evening that they dropped the reveals for the new cast members of season 2. So I think it was like, yeah, they were announcing like Josh, Audrey, Philippe, and Sasha that evening too. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure because I remember we were out and we were dancing, and then the time clicked over, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping!" And so we like ran out of like the club, and we were all just like just hyped up from the dancing, and then we just like were sitting on the steps, like all of us just like on Instagram, like posting and like liking each other and just being like, "Yeah, like this is so sick, guys!" Like da da da, and yeah, so that's what I remember from that night. Yeah, so Songhon, so I think the reason Songhon and I are closer friends is that we both love rock climbing. Um, we mainly did indoor rock climbing, but one of the things that he always wanted to do was to do outdoor. And he also wanted to come to Australia. So Charles, who's a very good friend of both Songhon and mine, organized a trip for him to come to the Blue Mountains, which is in New South Wales, near Sydney. And so kind of a couple months after EXO Kitty, Songhon came over and had a holiday here. And we went outdoor climbing. And we did what's called lead climbing, which is different to, if you think of like so there's like top rope climbing where the rope's already attached to the top. Lead climbing is you're setting the rope as you go up. So it's a little riskier, and it definitely takes a lot of practice. And this was his first time doing it. So there was a really steep learning curve, but because he's an amazing rock climber. Like he is very, very talented. He's very strong. And he kind of, he's got that fearless mentality in him. And it was just one of the best experiences to be out there. The weather was perfect. We were with good friends, a lot of hiking. It just, I think after EXO Kitty, it really helped us clear our minds and kind of shake off the stress of filming a TV show together. And it's something that Sangheon, I think we're going to do it. We're going to try and do it every year. So we're going to try and go to different location and do some rock climbing. Just because it's such a freeing feeling to be kind of up on a cliff and have nothing else to worry about except, putting your hand here, putting your hand here. Yeah.